In this video, I'm going to talk about my top 10 indie comic picks to read for this new comic book day, July 20th, 2022. Let's just get into this. I don't have anything outside of my top 10. There was a lot of good choices, though, this week. So kicking it off at number 10 is one from Source Point Press, and that is Nook, issue number 2 of 3. Awesome comic, a magazine-sized, oversized comic that first issue was fantastic. A very interesting story, creepy, but also really cool story going on with the cat and the history side of things with World War II going on. In this issue, a young girl and her family escape World War II Germany, only to find that their new home is haunted by a dark past and a cat named Nook. Avery's new friend revealed the history of the old house and how the past just might be the key to saving her future. I really enjoyed the first one. It seemed like a very good story coming from Source Point Press, written by Caleb Thusat with art by Marcelo Biot and Martha Webby doing the covers here. So fantastic little 3-issue mini-series from Source Point Press, my number 10 pick. Number 9 this week is from Scout Comics, and it is the return of Locust, Locust, the Ballad of Men, number 1 from Massimo Rossi and Alex Nieto. Are you ready to return to the world of Locusts? Max's journey, revealed in a series of flashes between past and present, brings us closer and closer to Ford's lair. However, proximity to Ford is the very antithesis of safety, as the fanatical cult leader now seems increasingly ready to devastate everything in the name of his insane religious vision. First volume, first 4 issues from Scout was phenomenal. Massimo Rossi writes killer stories. I talk about him a lot in my picks, and this one was no exception to that. So if you haven't read the first volume, go pick that up. The trade is out there, and get ready for the first issue of volume 2 here. My number 9 pick this week. Coming in for number 8 from Aftershock Comics, A Calculated Man number 2 from Paul Tobin and Alberto Albuquerque. Issue 1 was just really, really a fun read. I love the character development that we got going on here. Our main character, our math genius, Jack Beans, just kind of figuring out what's his best solution to get out of the mob, the crime family that he's been involved with, and it was kill them all. And that was his answer to the solution, and now we're going to see the consequences of that decision coming forward. And, you know, having spent time in the crime family knows that everyone makes mistakes, and those mistakes catch up to you. One fingerprint was left behind. Now it's not just the Pinafore crime family that is on his trail, but an entire city's police force as well. The odds keep getting bigger. We'll see if he's able to make his way out of what's going on here, but I think if not, it's going to be an interesting story along the way. And that is my number 8 pick. Number 7 this week, coming from Behemoth Comics, Illusion Witch, issue number 2 from Ruben Romero and Andrea Errico. Phenomenal issue number 1. I loved it. I love this world that's being built. I can't wait to see what else is going to happen in this world. And issue 2 continues the adventure of Adia Locke, a celebrated illusionist that is regrettably pulled into a breathtaking world of real magic. Sari is both an awe-inspiring and terrifying realm where Adia encounters demonic threats like the Three, a maniacal wraith whose intentions are truly sinister. Just a phenomenal read. I think actually I have it. Yeah, I do have it sitting right here. Haven't gotten to write a review for issue number 1 yet, but at some point it will happen. But definitely one I recommend. Definitely recommend checking this one out. Coming in for number 6 is one from Oni Press, and if you guys have heard some of the news recently, Oni Press just laid off a lot of their staff, and I am not happy that that happened to a lot of creators in the industry and people who've been working at Oni Press for many years, or integral part of the process of putting out their books, and they all lost their jobs. So I'm not happy about that, but I think it does these creators who did put this book together and already planned for this release a disservice if you don't support this book, beyond this point. Now, after that, I don't know if I will pick up Oni Press books for a while until they sort their stuff out. But this one was already one that I was really looking forward to. I really enjoyed Dirtbag Rapture from Christopher Sabella, and this one is a new one from him. Blink, issue number 1 here from Oni Press. Hayden Sherman doing the art on this one. Hayden Sherman, artist on Thumbs. We also have Nick Filardi from Rogue Planet doing colors here. And here's what this story is about. Ren Brooker was 3 when she was found catatonic and covered in blood on the streets of New York. Since that day, she's been haunted by a childhood she can't remember. After decades of searching, Ren stumbles upon a cryptic website streaming multiple CCTV feeds from strange rooms in a ruined building, and something clicks, setting off hidden memories that lead her back to a place she's seen in lifelong nightmares. Hunting for answers, Ren breaks into the building, but instead finds herself entangled in the camera-filled dark mazes of a decayed social experiment only known as Blink. This is a found footage horror where uncovering your past will leave you trapped inside of it. So the story is just so intriguing, and so I want to support this story. I can't support what's going on right now at that company and in the many people's lives that have been upset from the actions of the company. So Blink number 1, my number 6 pick this week. Number 5 here from Boom Studios. We got Grimm number 3 from Stephanie Phillips and Flaviano. Jess's excursion to the world of the living yields grave consequences when her boss imposes some intense penalties. However, it will take more than that to keep Jess from breaking the rules, especially with the mystery of why she alone can travel between worlds, motivating her. Just phenomenal writing from Stephanie Phillips, as always. You know her from Harley Quinn, that's been going on right now, Nuclear Family, or two of her recent books that she's been doing, and Grimm just adds to that collection of recent books that have been fantastic. So Grimm number 3, my number 5 pick this week. Moving over to AWA Upshot, we've got The Joneses, issue number 4 from Michael Morecki, Alessandro Vitti, and Ives Forcina. John Gallagher doing the covers. And again, I talk about this one every time it's coming out. I love this world that exists within the Resistance universe. But this story especially has been really interesting to see the family dynamics of these 2 reborn families, one looking to take things for their own and kind of say, hey, we are better, we've got powers, and then our main family, the Joneses, kind of fighting on the other side of that, saying, hey, no, we got to stop people who are doing evil, we are good, we need to use our powers for good. And all within that, we have kind of the non-reborns within their community wanting to find out who the reborns in their community are so they can kick them out of their community because they perceive reborns as automatically being a threat. So good social commentary going on in there. And I think Michael Morecki just continuing to show why he is such an awesome writer. And the art in this is just really cool. I love also It doesn't say here who the letterer is, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but the lettering is really well done in this as well, because we see, the lettering sound effects with the different powers that they all have is really integrated well, and I think keeps you integrated into the story, and I love it. Fantastic story coming from AWA Upshot. Jones's number 4 is my number 4 pick. Coming to number 3 is one from Blood Moon Comics, and that is Endangered number 2 from John McCarthy and Ron Joseph. And this one I have read issue number 2, and that's why it's up here, because it's phenomenal. John sent me a digital copy of Endangered number 2, and I picked up issue number 1 from my comic shop. And it's just a fantastic story that's being told here. Issue number 2, we're looking at, the soldiers going to Earth and seeing what lurks down there, what monsters might be waiting for them. They think they're, going to just kind of get Earth ready for humanity to come back, but the world has not been dormant in the humanity's time away. Something has remained on Earth, and of course we know from the preview picture, the cover of issue number 1, that it has the giant spider surrounding Earth. There's going to be bugs involved in this, and they meet some of those in this issue. And I don't want to spoil it, but things get terrifying for our humans and our troops who have landed on Earth to try to find a new home for humanity back on Earth. So don't miss this one, coming out this week from Blood Moon Comics. If you missed issue number 1, they are working on a second printing for that, which I think you can order now. I think I heard it was in the catalog for ordering. And then issue number 2 is actually, I believe, sold out as well, and so there's going to be a second printing of that one. It looks like orders due by August 8th for both of those reprints. It looks kind of like instead of the green Endangered logo, it's going to be a blue Endangered logo. So a little bit different logo change, but I think the art is going to be pretty similar. So, but that's cool. Small publisher like Blood Moon getting to put out a second printing doesn't happen as much for the smaller publishers. So I always enjoy when that happens. And issue 2 does leave us with a little bit of a cliffhanger and a little bit of a peek into where the story is heading next, and I think it's going to head to some cool places. So Endangered number 2, my number 3 pick this week. Coming in for number 2 is By the Horns Dark Earth number 3 from Marquise Nasso, Jason Muir, and Steve Cannon from Scout Comics. Elodie, Sajin, and Evelyn set sail for the continent of Yalastra aboard Captain Alkeb's ship, the Wave Splitter, but their journey to the Unicorn's homeland doesn't go quite as smoothly as they hoped. Also have gotten to check this one out from PDF, so shout out to Marquise for sending that. I love this world. I absolutely love this world. We've had Marquise and Jason on the channel to talk about By the Horns, and it's just a fantastic fantasy sci-fi world. Like, it's not just fantasy. We've got lots of cool sci-fi elements in this, and they are really just crafting and building such a cool world of so many different creatures and characters, and there's just so much detail that goes into this world. And in this issue, we're really starting to see more of how Salathis and the people living on Salathis are reacting to Elodie's actions in Volume 1 and her killing the mages, and those impacts that's having on Salathis now. And so she's trying to fix that. people are trying to stop her because they are kind of not as happy about where things are now. So, By the Horns, Dark Earth #3, such a fantastic story coming from Scout Comics. Please go check out By the Horns. Volume 1, trade paperbacks out there, and you should be able to find issues 1 through 3 of this volume. And it's from what they've said, we're gonna have many volumes to come. So keep your eye on this one. It is one to definitely be reading. Lastly, on my top 10 list is my number 1 pick, Little Red Ronin #1 from Garrett Gunn and Kit Wallace. A terrible beast has haunted the citizens of Pole Town for decades. Although the monster hasn't been seen in years, disappearances and gruesome killings still plague the townsfolk. Determined to clear her family name, Red hunts the Great Wolf in hopes of exonerating her grandmother, who lives in exile for spreading terrifying propaganda. This one, as it sounds, you pick up on the little things there. It sounds like a little bit of a twist on Little Red Riding Hood, but instead Little Red Ronin. We've got the wolf, we've got the grandmother, we've got Red, and it just looks really cool, though. The story and the art is the same artist. Kit Wallace does the art for Good Boy. Garrett Gunn is the co-writer of Good Boy. So we've got that team together here again in Source Point Press book. And this just, again, just like Good Boy, looks like it's going to be a good story and a fun story to read. So it made it to the top of my list, my number 1 pick this week for indie comics coming out on July 20th. So thank you guys for watching. If you made it here and aren't subscribed, go hit that button down below. Really appreciate it. And as always, collect what you love. See you guys next time.